Guitar, bass, singing, drums. You could see these at the concert thrown by Aggie Radio Friday night. Aggie Radio hosted the event for College Radio Day, bringing Roseburg and the Mojave Nomads to Logan to play for everyone, not just Utah State students. Aggie Radio's station manager says there's a reason why they picked these two bands.
Roseburg is by far like the best band to work with in Utah right now. They're just so nice and so cooperative and so like eager to become big, but in a good way.
Roseburg was supposed to play at the Big Ag Show earlier this year, but was rained out. Ellis says he wanted to give them another chance to play in Logan. Ellis spent the morning with other Aggie Radio members, handing out flyers to get people to come to the concert. All proceeds from the concert went to Aggie Radio to help them keep the station running and to help them get new things for their studio here in the TSC. The Aggie Radio marketing director says she hands out flyers for events like this because the station means so much to her.
It gives back to the organization that's helped me so much and make it better than how I found it.
Close to 50 people attended the concert, not as many as Ellis hoped would show up. Ellis says college radio is more than just what you hear coming through your speakers.
Music has no boundaries, and therefore like radio, or like our community has no boundaries. It's like full of acceptance and love, and there's a place for everyone.
Adam Larson, Aggie-TV News. Demolition Derby met NASCAR at the Logan Fairgrounds this weekend. Trash car racing had all sorts of old cars and vans make an appearance, but some of them didn't make it through the night. One man went head-to-head against his brother.
This race, he took my car out. Last race, I took his car out.
Crashes and cars getting stuck are common, so drivers pick any car they can find.
This one I got from my roommate. My last two I got out of a scrapyard. Just whatever I get with 4 tires. We just make whatever run.
Conover says racing is a hobby he enjoys with his family and friends.
You could see more than just trash car racing, as they had hillbilly lawnmower racing as well.
One lawnmower driver enjoys the night's environment.
I just feel like that I'm with like-minded people, that just want to come out, have a good time.
Garner says he thinks lawnmower racing is safer than driving in the cars, but you can still tip over. The night also saw the cowhide ride, a person getting dragged behind a four-wheeler on a piece of cloth. One man jumped from the crowd to try it out.
Ate a lot of mud, got a little cut up, and had a great time.
But someone always drives through the mud a winner. Dunks and threes were about the only thing shot at Aggie Madness. The Aggie men's and women's basketball teams squared off in inter-squad scrimmages and shooting contests in fans' first opportunity to see both teams. Diogo Brito won one of the shootouts, teaming up with a fan, and Lindsey Jensen Baker beat Brock Miller in the three-point contest. Women's head coach Jerry Finkbeiner says the event was much bigger than last year's.
We may have to go to the Spectrum next year, as the center may not be able to hold it next year.
The Estes was standing room only after the stands filled up 15 minutes before the event was scheduled to start. Men's head coach Craig Smith says the night is something the team really looks forward to.
You can always count on one of our worst practices of the year to be this afternoon of the late show, because they're just like little kids, getting ready for a big event.
Finkbeiner says the highlight of the night is always the men's team dunk contest.
I know there's a lot more guys on the bench could dunk too. They showed 4 off tonight, but there's probably about 14 of those guys could throw it down, so it was a lot of fun to wait the end of the night too.
Here in the Spectrum, I'm standing on a stool to get to the height of the guys competing in the dunk contest, all of them about 6'8" or taller. But when I step off the stool, I'm more the height of a normal man. 5'10" is the average height of a man in America, which is why you probably can't dunk as well at home as these guys can in the dunk contest.
Last year's dunk contest winner came out in style, singing "I Believe I Can Fly" before his first dunk. Other dunkers include Liam McChesney, Kuba Karwowski and Sean Bairstow. Karwowski and Bairstow would both advance to the final. Bairstow would eventually win the dunk contest by fan vote with this dunk. Smith said he didn't have any dunks scare him like last year when Namias Keita jumped over 7 fans to dunk the ball.
Nimi and Bean both scared the living snot out of me last year.
Adam Larson, Aggie-TV News.
Hey, we'll just say next basket wins.
Welcome to Aggie-TV Sports. Today we've got a lot of touchdowns, but there's a few other things sprinkled in the middle. I'm Adam Larson. Let's get right into it. Utah State football took on Stony Brook Saturday, and they put on a show. Players and fans were excited for the first home game of the season and the first home game for Coach Gary Anderson in his second stint with the Aggies. Anderson finished his first stint with a 26-24 record before leaving for Wisconsin. Jordan Love started his day off with a deep pass to Jordan Nathan here. Utah State would fumble on the drive, but Devin Tompkins took the punt return to the house to score the Aggies' first touchdown of the night and his first touchdown return of the season. Love would throw for over 200 yards in just the first quarter, including this dart to Siosi Mariner for the touchdown. The Aggie defense was also heavily involved, getting a stop here and not allowing any points from Stony Brook in the first half. Utah State had 14 different players make a catch in the game, including this nice one by Caleb Repp. Aggies would have almost as many yards on the ground as they did through the air, thanks to several long runs, including this 28-yarder by Jalen Warren and a 54-yard touchdown run on the Aggies' next drive. What a run right here by Warren. He finished with 105 rushing yards in the game, and the Aggies had over 300 yards rushing as a team. Quarterback Henry Colombi threw his first touchdown of the season as Utah State played 3 quarterbacks in the game, all 3 of them scoring touchdowns after Andrew Peasley took this one 59 yards on the ground for the touchdown. Peasley did get injured later in this game, bringing Colombi back in to throw for another touchdown, capping off a 62-7 win for the Aggies. Utah State's 62 points is the second most under Coach Anderson. The Aggies' next game is at San Diego State on September 21st. USU wants a look in your bag before you can get into a football or basketball game. The Aggies instituted a new bag search policy coming up starting this season and going into next season. Prohibited items include alcohol, smoking devices, noisemakers, fireworks, lasers, camera lenses over 4 inches, bikes, scooters, skateboards, any sort of tripod, stadium chairs with legs, coolers, drones, heaters, strollers, umbrellas, and weapons. A clear bag policy will be in place for Aggie football and basketball next season, so you're going to need to get some clear bags if you want to get into the games. Utah State volleyball fell to Washington State 1-3, Idaho 0-3, and Portland 2-3 at the North Portland Marriott Invitational over the weekend. The Aggies are now 0-6 on the season. Utah State soccer beat Marquette 5-1 Sunday behind goals from 5 different Aggies, and junior Ashley Cardozo was named the America First Credit Union USU Student Athlete of the Week after her performance. Skyview hosted Madison, Idaho Friday in a high-scoring football contest. Here, Mason Falslev extends the Bobcats' lead with his 6th touchdown pass of the season to Kaysen Carlson, and then he took this one in on the ground from 55 yards out for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. Falslev leads the Bobcats in passing and rushing yards in 2019, but wasn't able to be returning to this game after appearing to injure his shoulder. Madison would cut into the Skyview lead with this play, setting up a touchdown run, but it was just too little too late as Skyview took home the win 45-33. Skyview's next game is at home against Green Canyon on Friday night. Bonneville made the trek up to Cache Valley to take on Mountain Crest Friday, and they dominated the rushing game with 4 rushing touchdowns, the first of them by Brock Samuels here, and then Cameron Jones jukes his way into the end zone right here at the end. What a nice little juke right there. Gets into the ground, 3rd touchdown of the game, and Mountain Crest answered with some of the deepest touchdown passes you're going to see this week in high school football. Taden Burbank, 66 yards to Trey Fuller, and then they linked up again for an 80. The Mustangs passing attack, winning 41-28. Mountain Crest takes on Logan at home on Friday night. Ridgeline hosted Highland, Idaho in a slugfest on Friday. The Riverhawks strike first with Caden Cox's passing touchdown here. 1 of 2 for him on the day, and they got some great field position here as well with a 4th interception of the season by their defense, and Rhett Gerbert returns, setting up another scoring drive for Ridgeline. Cox's 2nd touchdown pass of the first half, but those will be the only points Ridgeline scored in this game, as Highland kicked a field goal to end the first half and cut the lead and scored 2 more touchdowns in the second half to win the game 16-13. The Riverhawks open region play against Bear River at home on Friday. And that's everything we had this weekend